If you're planning your first trip to one of Canada's most charming cities, then you're in the right place. This is the perfect guide for you. Halifax, Nova Scotia is a city with deep maritime roots, rich history, and incredible coastal charm. From beautiful nature to century-old fortresses, vibrant downtown streets, and some of the best Atlantic seafood that you've ever had, this city truly has something for everybody. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about everything you need to know before you plan your first trip to Halifax. So let's dive right in. Let's start off by talking about transportation. So from the airport, it's about 35 minutes to downtown Halifax. You could rent a car, or there's Uber and taxis as well. An Uber from the airport to the downtown core is about $60 to $70. Overall, if you're planning to stay right in the downtown area, it's pretty walkable, and you could use Uber easily as well. But if you want to check out some day trips, a rental car is definitely a good idea, and you can get it right from the airport. Overall, Halifax is a pretty drivable city, even though a lot of the locals will complain about it constantly just because it's gotten a lot worse over the last 5 years, but it's nowhere near the level of traffic that you would find in a larger city such as Toronto, Montreal, or Vancouver. Moving on, let's talk about things to do. There's an endless list of things to do in Halifax, and I have a whole video on this channel, but for first-timers, here's my short list of things that you should be checking out. Number 1, walk the Halifax waterfront. This boardwalk is perfect for a leisurely stroll with stunning views of Halifax Harbor. You can grab some local seafood, visit unique shops, and maybe even catch a live performance. Number 2, Peggy's Cove. A trip to Halifax wouldn't be complete without visiting Peggy's Cove. Just a short drive from the city, this iconic lighthouse and rugged coastline are a must-see. It's the perfect spot for photos and experiencing the natural beauty of Nova Scotia. Number 3, Citadel Hill. Right in the heart of downtown, history buffs will love Citadel Hill. This historic site offers incredible view of the city and gives you a glimpse into Halifax's military past with daily reenactments and tours. Next up, Point Pleasant Park. If you're looking for some green space, Point Pleasant Park is your go-to. This expansive park offers beautiful trails, historic ruins, and serene views of the water. It's a favorite spot for locals to relax and unwind, and it's also dog-friendly. Next up, you're going to want to check out Argyle Street. In the heart of downtown, this is where you'll find a lot of the local scene with pubs and restaurants. This street is streetscaped, and it's always bumping, especially during the summer and fall. Next up, the Halifax Central Library, one of the coolest buildings in all of Halifax, and it's won several architectural awards. You can take a walk down Spring Garden Road, but make sure you check out the library as it's one of the coolest buildings on the east coast of Canada. Next up, the north end of Halifax, and specifically Agricola Street. This trendy neighborhood is incredible. You can check out the Hydrostone and walk down Agricola Street to enjoy the local shops, food, and a great vibe. While you're in Halifax, I would definitely suggest checking out a sporting event. Depending on the time of year, the main options include the Mooseheads for hockey, Thunderbirds for lacrosse, Wanderers for soccer, and then in the fall and winter, you have a ton going on with Dalhousie and St. Mary's universities, and these games are always really fun to watch. And last up on the things to do list when you're in Halifax is to check out the local nightlife. The East Coast pub life is quite the experience, especially on a night where there's live music, which is mostly Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays. Some local favorites would be Dirty Nelly's or the Old Triangle for something more busy and upbeat, and for something a little bit more low-key with a great craft beer selection, I would highly suggest checking out Stillwell on Barrington Street. All these things to do, it's going to keep you pretty hungry, and don't worry, there's no shortage of great food options in Halifax as the food scene has really exploded here over the last 5 to 10 years. But in general, you have all options from cheap food to fine dining. But while you're in Nova Scotia, you definitely want to try a donair and some incredible Atlantic seafood just to start. Some classic go-tos for seafood would be McKelvey's or Five Fishermen, but pretty much every restaurant has incredible seafood options, and my personal few favorites would be Highwayman, Bar Kismet, and The Bicycle Thief. For more food options, there's a video on this channel that talks about the top 13 restaurants in Halifax. And if you're looking for late night cocktails, you can check out Highwayman, Lot 6, Field Guide, or Peacock, as these are my top 4 cocktail bars in the city. In terms of where to stay, there are tons of options in Halifax, but in terms of a luxury stay, the Mirror is the perfect location, incredible views, and amenities. This hotel really has it all, but it's also reflected in the price point of over $500 per night. For a more typical stay, you could check out the Sutton Place Hotel. This hotel is in the heart of downtown, attached to the convention center. It's much more reasonable cost-wise, although you're still getting modern finishes, great views, and a perfect location for a weekend stay at a really good bang for your buck, starting off around the mid to high 200s for a night. And if you're looking for something a little bit more budget friendly, check out Brewery Park in the North End. It's a super cool stay and experience, and it's much more affordable, starting off around the low 200s per night. It's in a very trendy location in the North End of Halifax. Not to mention, there are a ton of other Airbnb options as well if you're looking for something that's even more budget friendly. Now, in terms of how long you need to stay in Halifax to get a really good experience, 2 to 3 days is plenty of time to enjoy Halifax, but you could come for a week or longer to really immerse yourself in the East Coast culture. I would say anywhere around a 3 to 5 night trip is a very comfortable trip for a first timer, and that'll give you a really good sense of the city and the surrounding area. But in terms of the time of year, this one is really easy. Summer and fall are without a doubt the best times of year to check out Halifax. If you want some more information on the different seasons, you can check out the video on my channel, which I'll tag above here for you to look at as well. So there you have it. There's your first timer's guide to Halifax, all from me, a local Haligonian. And if you're looking for more information on Halifax and tips and where you can stay and all these things, you can check out some of the other videos on the channel. And if you got any value out of this video, don't forget to hit that like button and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of my future videos. Enjoy your trip in Halifax.